music. Good morning, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is Thursday, August 3rd, 2023 at 10 a.m. So it is time for coffee and cards. If you are here, give me a shout out, a thumbs up, a like or a love. What platform am I on? Oh my goodness. Happy Thursday. Oh, it looks like I just went live. Oh my. I had the notification come through on my phone, so I'm assuming that I'm live, but I'll give you guys a minute to find me. And then we'll do a little housekeeping. And then I've got some really pretty projects with One Horse Open Sleigh for you. So I can't believe I can't believe it's Thursday, and I can't believe it's August. I don't know about you guys. And I'm on my second iced coffee this morning already. So hopefully you have your favorite morning beverage with you. Good morning, Sharon. Hey, Valerie. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. It does make a difference when you guys share for me. All right. So, of course, the kit special, we've been talking about that. Good morning, Linda. Happy August to you. We've been talking about the kit special now a couple of times, but it is in full force. The kits in our online store and our kit collection are up to 30% off. Some are 10, some are 20, some are 30%. Including the brand new kit that just came out, and it is helping you to get ready for Christmas. This is festive tags, and they're really cute. I am going to order one of these, and I'll probably share it with you before the end of the month. The kit is $13, and it's enough supplies to create 15 gift tags, 3 each of 5 different designs. And we've got basic black, flirty flamingo, garden green, lost lagoon, pool party, and real red. So flirty flamingo. We had some pinks in our Christmas last year, didn't we? So I'm anxious to play with this. It looks to me like it's a non-stamping kit. So again, great to do with kiddos or older folks who might not have space where they're living to have a lot of supplies on hand. And yeah, it'll be fun. So we'll probably put that one together. Like I said, I'm going to be ordering that here probably end of the week or early next week. So when that comes in, we'll share that. Good morning, Thelma. Hi, Ashley. And then, of course, for those of you that placed a minimum $50 product order last month, you got your bonus day coupon email from Stampin' Up. In that, you will find your bonus day coupon. Good morning, Donna. Thank you, Connie Carson. You will find your bonus day coupon code. And that code is what you will want to use to place your orders in August. Or should I say codes? If you're like me, you had a few. So yeah, so this is the time, right? You have from now until August 31st to redeem those bonus day coupons that you earned last month. Don't forget about them. Don't misplace them. If you do, you can contact Stampin' Up. They'll be able to find it for you, or call me if I placed your order for you. I did send all the ones out to the folks that if it was coming to me directly instead of you. So I have them and I had sent them to you. I'm not sure I kept them, but I did instruct you guys too. So hopefully you have those and we can use those on your orders in August. Okay. And let's see what else. My pop-up class. You guys are loving the Chuck class. Hey, Chuck. So cute. Registration for this is open until August 12th so that the bundle can get back in stock. Good morning, Debbie. Hope you're doing well. But this is our class. $50 product order gets you the class, gets you a full roll of the burlap ribbon. That'll be great for your cards, as well as to use on your Christmas projects. If you do like country themed Christmas, it's really fun, or masculine cards. It is a great ribbon. And the host code for that is different than the normal monthly host code. So for the Hey Chuck class, this is your host code that you want to use. With the $50 product order, you're going to get the class for free, the ribbon for free, all of that, including the postage. There's no postage charge for this one. So make sure you're using this host code when you want to earn the Hey Chuck class, okay? If you are wanting to earn the August just cards, which look like this, okay, then you want to use the standard August host code. And that's a minimum $35 product order. If you hit $50 product, then you're going to get a free embellishment from me. If you're long distance, we're going to add a $4 postage charge that will be due in order for me to ship the kits to you. But you can do a porch pickup if you're local, or you can come to the class. That will be the second Wednesday of the month at 3 p.m. And if you don't have $35 in product that you want to purchase right now, then you can simply purchase the class for $15 plus the $4 postage again if we're mailing it. Okay. So trying to get through all the housekeeping today quickly. And then the last thing is these pretty cards that we made, right? These were the alternates to the paper pumpkin kit that I shared with you. I think it was May's paper pumpkin kit that we played with. Good morning, Carol Deegan. The winner of these is Carol Zeezer. So Carol, I don't know if I saw you hop on. Congratulations. And thank you so much for watching and commenting and liking. And I'm going to see you on Wednesday at Just Cards class. So I'm going to stick these behind me and put your name on them so that I remember to give them to you when I see you, because I'm actually leaving again. I think I wish I could get frequent flyer miles on my car because it's making a lot of trips up and down the road. So, but yes, so I am leaving, and I won't be around to be able to put these on the porch for you. So I'll give these to you next week. All right. I think that is everything that I have as far as housekeeping goes. So the One Horse Open Sleigh, right? It's a big favorite. Everybody loves it. I love it. Of course, it's part of the online exclusives. And it is still available as of yesterday. Sorry. What's going on with my throat this morning? So yeah, so it's all of these products. If you get the sleigh, it's the suite. It's the stamp set and the bundle with the dies. And then you get the beautiful 6x6 designer series paper. That's that scenic type paper. And then you get the adhesive backed snowflake assortment. So the suite is $72.50. The bundle itself is $52. And then of course you can buy just the paper if you don't want those snowflakes, right? Hey, Corinne, thank you. But it is beautiful. It is still available. Also, if you missed it, this So Very Merry stamp set is back in stock. So if you're interested in that Christmas set, you can grab that in the online store as well. All right, so let me start with this cute card. And it's a little bit of a fun fold because we're just going to have that portion right there that mimics the snow with the horse and sleigh on it. Can you see the sparkle on the sleigh? I added some of the Winkostella onto the sleigh. So I thought that made it really pretty. And then you open it up and you have your greeting on the inside. This is actually a scrap of paper that I had left over from another project, and it was too pretty not to figure out something to do with it. So that's kind of what inspired me to create this type of a card. Okay. So this is just our basic Whisper White, the thick, because I always use the thick when I do my card bases. And it is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then I just cut a section, whatever's going to fit your paper that you want to put in there. So there's really no right or wrong size to cut off. Oh, thanks, Carol. But I did want it to cover just the bottom. Okay. And we are actually going to trim this top edge. So we're just going to make it a little snowy bank, right? So I'm going to come in this way and just do a little right up to the fold line. And then pull that away. And I can check that. If I don't like it, I can trim more off. And I might do just a little bit more. So just because I'd like a little more of that pretty paper to show. Now, just be careful if you're doing this that you don't go lower than what your paper will provide coverage for on the inside, right? Yeah, I think that looks good. What do you think? Okay, so let's get rid of those scraps. And I can actually go ahead and mount this. I'm just wondering. You know what? I'm going to trim just 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, maybe. Except I don't have a paper cutter here. Because it's in Gettysburg. I said to my husband, I have to start playing the lottery so I can duplicate all my supplies down home. Okay, so I'm going to take off just a little bit. Just would like that tree to be raised just a little bit, that nice big tree there. Now we're going to go ahead and put this on. Oh, thanks, Corinne. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you like it. And I love the backs of these scenic papers because they're colored, but they're kind of a neutral pattern. So this just makes a great background for your Christmas cards, if in fact you can bear to cover up the scenic side, right? That's the problem. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm using some stamps here. I've got the Brightest Glow, which was a carryover stamp set from last year's holiday catalog, and it made it into the annual catalog. And looking at these colors, I saw some Orchid Oasis. So we're going to use Orchid Oasis for our greetings. And we'll see how well I hit this. What do you think? Oh, pretty good, huh? We'll take that. We will take that. And we're going to mount that to a layer of Orchid Oasis. Grab my silicone pad because that's smaller than the nose on my applicator. So I don't want adhesive going everywhere. You know, the other great thing with your applicator or with your adhesive pad, I'll get it, silicone pad, there we go. If you have a problem when you're using your seal and it doesn't want to move forward for you, you can't get it to roll and apply adhesive, just pull it on your silicone pad and it moves it forward. It doesn't leave any adhesive here, but it pulls it forward. So another great reason to have the silicone pad handy when you're crafting. All right, let's grab some dimensionals or bits and pieces of dimensionals, if you will. We're going to pop this up in the corner. This is a great use of the sides, the skinnier sides of your dimensionals as well when you have long strips like this. As crafters, we never throw anything away, do we? Just look at my craft room if you don't believe me. And then I'm going to butt that up over here on the side. All right, we'll come back and put our gems on at the end. I'll pull them out so I don't forget. And then I know you're wondering, why does Lori have a plain white backing? Because I colored the sleigh with blends. And if I don't put a white backing on it, the color bleeds through, right? So here I went ahead and stamped it. I'm going to grab my blends. And the one horse, this image, the horse and sleigh image, is a long image. So you're either going to need, which block is this? This is the big long one. I think it's the eye. You're either going to need the eye block, or if you happen to have the Stamparatus, you can absolutely use the Stamparatus to stamp your images with. But you definitely are going to need, or if you have that really big F block, you know, I'm not a fan of that because it's hard for me to manipulate and hold on to it, but you could use that as well. So we're just going to add some colors here. This is light shaded spruce. I've got some light Orchid Oasis. Oops. So I'm going to make her hat light Orchid Oasis. And the good news is I'm just going to color this one for you. On the next couple of cards, I've already done the coloring. Because again, I am going to be watching paint dry this weekend, so I didn't want to make you guys watch paint dry. Oh, shoot. All right, let's do the big sleigh here. I'm just grabbing colors as they come. Light smoky slate. And this is a quick color job. This is not something where I'm doing any kind of shading, although you certainly could put some shadow with your darker shades. These are mostly lights that I'm using. Can you hear the dinging that's happening? I'm in a group text, and apparently this morning is the morning where everything is happening. I apologize for that. I use the bullet tip, and I definitely think I need a new light smoky slate. I don't have the dark here, but if I did, to put just a little shadow on here, I would go right under that swoop. Just try going over it a couple of times with the light. Not quite the same effect, but you get the idea, right? Let's go ahead and add the Wink of Stella. There's nothing like a juicy Wink of Stella. You could do the whole sleigh if you wanted to. There is also in the die set a die that cuts out the runner. So you could cut that out of silver foil, which is in the online store. I know it's not present in the catalog, but you'll find it in the online stores. It's the multi-pack of the different shades of silver foil. And then we'll finish coloring in our folks here. This is Fresh Freesia. And then he is in, oops. Pretty sure his hat is dark Orchid Oasis. Yep. And we're going to do Starry Sky. This is light Starry Sky. Because I see all these colors in that background paper, right? And you know, I very much like to use my designer series paper to show me what colors to pull to complement. We'll do her little muff in Fresh Freesia as well. Help to draw the eye. And then some, oh, this is 900. So this would be the lightest in the blends collection of neutrals. Okay. Oh, and his hand. I always forget his hand. I don't know why. And we're also going to add just a little bit of light Fresh Freesia to the harness on the horse. Okay. All right, so let me show you the dies. So you get a lot of dies in this set. Of course, this is the one, obviously, to cut the horse and sleigh out with. Here's the runner die. You can cut that out and add it to your stamped image, just like that. This swoop is for the top edge of the sleigh on the edge there. And then, of course, we have our trees. We have a standalone tree, some snowbanks, and the bunny. So you get a lot of dies in here that coordinate beautifully with the stamp set. Let me lay these aside for 1 second. We'll die cut this. Who has one horse open sleigh? Because I know some of you do. I love designing with it, but it is, you do, I mean, You can do it, and I'm gonna have an example that I'm gonna show you of a card I received. You can do it without coloring it, and it's beautiful. But if you're somebody that likes to color, this is a great, great set for you. I keep thinking that I must have stretched my stamp because that's not lining up as well as I would like it to. Do you? Oh, good. Have you played with it, guys? I'm gonna try that again because that just did not line up the way I wanted it to. It is such a pretty set. Okay, we've got that side. But then to get this side, it shifts everything. All right, we're gonna go with that. Take it over here to my die cutting machine so I don't rock your world. Haha. Oh, good, Sharon. Connie has it. Thelma has it. Yeah, it's kind of addicting. When you start playing with it, you don't want to stop. Oh, that actually came out really well. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mount these two together because otherwise, if I just mount this on here, right, you see those colors showing through on the back. So we don't want that. That just looks a little messy. And just line him up. And now, no color behind. No color behind. And then I'm going to put it right about there. And I did not mount it on dimensionals. You certainly could if you wanted to. But I am keeping my adhesive low, right? Because the top portion of it is going to be above our snowbank. And I'm stayed well off where the adhesive would come through. Let's grab our other greeting and stamp that on the inside, and then we'll add our embellishments. Well, maybe you'll get an idea or two today if you haven't started playing with it yet. Sending warmth your way. That greeting comes directly from the Horse and Sleigh stamp set. And then I have the 2022, 2024 in color pearls. These are really pretty, guys. I hadn't played with these yet. I had them. I just hadn't played with them. And I really like them. So we're going to add a couple of those. I have a hard time. Do you guys have a hard time distinguishing between what is Orchid Oasis and what is Starry Sky? And I think I just put Starry Sky on there. Not that it wouldn't work, but I really do want the Orchid Oasis. So let's go grab those. I remember doing the color club last year and struggling with the designer series paper, being able to tell the difference. Crazy, right? All right. So there we go. What do you think? I like that fold. I like using it with that particular die as well. All right, moving on to project number 2. Remember to comment, like, love, share the video to be entered into winning these cards next month or next week, next month. No, September. I'm not ready for September. Okay, this one we did in my club. And the purpose for this card was I wanted to figure out a way to design a project with this stamp set that didn't have to be in landscape orientation, that we could do in a portrait orientation, right? So thus this project. Mossy Meadow is our card base. Get this out of the way too. And we've got a layer of cherry cobbler that's going to go right on top. Excuse me, guys. Okay. And then I did go ahead and color the sled and the people in it, right? So we have Lost Lagoon in here. We have some midnight or Misty Moonlight. My sled is cherry cobbler, light and dark. The hats are light cherry cobbler, some crumb cake, some darker fresh freesia, and of course that light neutrals blend. I only had to color that because of course we're going to take the sleigh or the horse off the sleigh. So I want it to look like the horse is just on the other side. So I'm going to cut that off first, right? And then when we're ready, we're going to go ahead and do the line it up with the edge and trim it again. But first we're going to add some, hey, Janine. First, we're going to add some balmy blue to our background. Very light. It's always good to start light. You can always go back and add color. I go in a circular motion on my ink pad. And then I always go off the edge before I put it onto my cardstock. Because if you don't do that, sometimes you end up with blobs of color, right? I'm holding it back at its neck. I'm not forcing because your pressure can alternate if you've got your finger on the brush head back. And I don't have to do the whole thing because we have another layer here that we're going to add in for the snowbank on this one. Well, I'm probably going to stop right about there. Okay. Pretty even that way. Now we're going to take the tree and let's close up the balmy blue before Lori's wearing it. What do you think? And early espresso. And I'm going to ink the tree up. And I'm going to start on the edge. And I'm going to do kind of going uphill. And then I'm just going to come back and alternate my heights a little bit. Sure. Why not put a little short guy in there, right? Here's our layer of snow. So we're going to go ahead and trim that out. I don't know why I do this, but anytime I make snow, I do this. Anybody else? I always just give it a little trim down. Okay, I can go ahead. I've done one tree, right? I stamped him in Mossy Meadow. And then I colored the branch. You can use pecan pie. I didn't have my pecan pie here, so I grabbed my SU 400 to do the trunk on that. And then I'm going to grab my, this is the light Mossy Meadow. Now my Mossy Meadows are dying after going through club. So you're probably going to hear squeaking. I just put them on an order. last night, I think. So it'll be a while till they show up. But I'm going in circular motions and I'm just filling out this tree. You could absolutely leave the branches just like they were. It's cute that way too. But I wanted a little more presence of the tree on this project. So this was my solution. I'm using the bullet tip, of course. You would absolutely destroy your brush tip doing this. And in some cases, I'm connecting the two branches like I did right there. And in other cases, I'm going to leave them separate. You could go out further from the tips or stay close like I am. Okay, but that's how I get my pine trees to look a little fuller. And I'm going to grab that tree die and we'll cut that one out. And even having colored it, it's very easy to line it up. It's probably a little bit easier even maybe because you have a little bit more color there to align to. And we'll die cut this one. And I just realized why. It really shouldn't make a difference, but I'm struggling a little bit to die cut this morning. I'm like, wonder what that's about. Well, it's because the handle's on the left side and I'm right-handed and I always die cut on the right. Okay. All right, so there's our second tree. This one's going to stay on top of the snow. This one's going to go behind the snow. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this one flat. Keep it close to the edge. And preferably off my finger, right? Now we're going to put our snow on. And move up down here at the bottom. This one I am going to pop up with dimensionals. I went a little crazy with the dimensionals there. That's okay. We'll put this one down here. And then we're going to go ahead and mount. And again, I'm going to mount the sleigh flat. So I'm just going to put some adhesive. Line the edge up so that I can trim that if I need to. And just a little bit. There you go. So now it looks like the horse has moved off the edge. That's going to get mounted to our card front. Okay. And then we'll do our inside and our label. The Merry Christmas that I'm using comes from Ringed with Nature. It's actually one of my favorite Merry Christmases. It's a nice long Merry Christmas. I like the font. Attach that to a layer of Mossy Meadow. Now, on my sample, I did use my blending brush and added a little blue because I thought the white maybe was too stark. But now today, I kind of like the white standing out. Which way do you like it? Should we add some blue or not? I'll let you vote on that while I put my inside greeting together. Again, this is from the Brightest Glow. That really is a very versatile Christmas greeting set. If you don't already own that one, it might be something to consider. So with the blue on the greeting or no blue on the greeting. Bring them down so you can see them both. And it might be hard to see. That one has the blue on it, but it's so faint that I'm not sure. With, okay. With it will be. And there's going to be enough left on your brush to do a little bit of shading. And it really is just a light dusting of the blue, if you will. Okay. That's going up on dimensionals as well. And again, the side edges are perfect for something like this because I can trim one of those off and just put that across the back. Okay, we've got our inside in, and then the last thing is to grab those pretty adhesive back snowflakes. So you get gold, copper, and white in here. And I'm looking to see if I have any small, oh, there's one. Mispositioned, but it's there. Because we're just gonna pop, well, maybe we're gonna use medium. Let's see what this looks like. I thought it was small. Wait, there's a small one. Pop one of those right on the sled or sleigh for an added little bonus. And there we go. That's project number 2 in the portrait position. Which with a long stamp like that, that's what you need to do. You could actually, if you wanted to, take the horse, which I didn't even have a full horse stamped, I don't think, and put him over here if you wanted to, or even in the bottom here. You could bring the horse completely over. But I opted just to leave him off and make it look like he was going ahead of the sleigh, obviously, and out of the picture. Okay. Last one. Is another fun fold. I wanted to do a bridge card because again, I'm looking for something to add some interest to the sleigh and the image. So the Merry Christmas comes from the Cottage Wreaths. Love, love, love this stamp set. This stamp set was a carryover. It's in the annual, but it carries you through fall and Halloween, and he lost his head. Fall and Halloween and Christmas, because you've got acorns, you've got holly leaves, you've got fall leaves, you've got pine, you've got a spider. This bow is gorgeous, whether you just die cut it or stamp and die cut it. Of course, you've got the grapevine wreath as well as your greenery wreath. And you could even make a wreath with this image if you wanted to stamp and die cut a bunch of those out. So it really is an awesome set. I love it. I was so happy it came back. I was also so sad because that's the set where my spider disappeared last year. My spider stamp. And after, I can't tell you how many weeks of cleaning my studio and sweeping my floor and all that, magically the spider appeared on the floor by the trash can one day. I don't know how. I don't know how, because it should have been long gone. Even if it had been on the floor, it should have been swept up, sucked up, something, right? It looks like something Betty Ling would do. All right. Very good. Okay. So let's grab our cardstock. So I believe, if I'm remembering my measurements correctly, this is an 8 by 4 1/4. And the reason it's an 8 by 4 1/4 is when you fold this, it will then fit into your envelope, right? You can't obviously get it in an envelope like that, but you can fold it either direction. And then this is a 5.5 inch width, which will fit in a standard size envelope. Okay. And the score lines are 1 1/4, 2 1/2 from each end. So we're going to push the black blade out of the way because that's our cutting blade. Flip it around and do the same thing. And then we have symmetrical sides. And it is a mountain fold and a valley fold, and a mountain fold and a valley fold from each end. Okay. Then I have some gray granite. There's my horse and sleigh already done. Okay. I did gray granite on the horse, the light gray granite on the horse, and then Misty Moonlight. And then you can actually, with those two colors, you can use whatever colors you want to color your riders with. Again, I think I went with some dark and light fresh freesia, some gray granite for his coat, and I think the hats are real red. And then here's my piece of the beautiful paper. And you're actually going to need 2 pieces for this. So our strips are going to be 4 1/8 by 1 1/8. And you're going to need 4 of these, 4 1/8 by 1 1/8. Which means my DSP, or my designer series paper, is going to be 4, because we're going to leave a 1/8 inch border. So we're going to trim this off. At 4 inches. I'm lining up the top edge of the paper and trimming that off. That's what we're going to cut down for our strips. So now we need a 1 by 4 and a 1 by 4. And then I'm going to hold for a second, because what I want to do is mount these to the gray granite. What I'm trying to do is cut this in the orientation that we're going to mount it. So this piece is going to go right on the inside here. And then we'll do the same thing with this one, mount it to a strip of the gray granite. And again, the DSP is 1 by 4, and the gray granite is 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. Mhm. Bridge cards, once you know the measurements, are really easy to put together. And you can choose to decorate the inside panel or not. That's entirely up to you. So here we have another layer of gray granite that's going to go right in here. Okay. This piece, again, we're doing 1/8 of an inch smaller than our score. So this is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, which means that from my remaining piece of paper, I need a 4 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut that right there. Okay. I'm working my way across the sheet of designer series paper so that everything lines up, right? You can see the pattern is continuous. You don't have to do it that way if you don't want to, but it's kind of a neat visual effect. And allowing for the 1/8 inch border does not interrupt the view or the eye as much as maybe 1/4 of an inch. The scores again were 1 1/4, 2 1/2 from each end. Okay. And then we'll see if I have enough left here, and I do. I can get one more piece out of that. So again, 1 by 4 onto a strip of the gray granite. That's going to be the inside, because again, can you see how that pattern continuously flows? Now I'm out of pattern. I've gone the whole way across the 6 by 6 piece of paper to get these layers. So the last one is not necessarily going to line up. But we are going to take a look here. And you know what? That's not so bad. Probably better than this one, because this one would be identical. So that kind of wouldn't work, right? And I don't want to take a hunk out of the middle of the paper because I can use what's left over for something else. So again, I'm going to, in this case, so I can keep more of this intact, I'm going to cut at 1 inch. And then just cut my 4 this way. That way I have this whole piece to use to make another card, right? Look at that cool back too. Love that. Okay. And there we go. So that's your base. We have this piece left, right? And we are going to mount that to a strip of Misty Moonlight. Now the Misty Moonlight is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. So the Misty Moonlight is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we're going to take our bottom here and we're going to cut that to 1 3/8. And I'm probably going to do this in 2 steps because I want the fence pattern, but I still need to get it down to, what did I say this was? 1 1/4, right? Yeah. So 1 1/8. 1 1/8 this way. Five 3/8 this way. So we have very little waste out of the one sheet of 6 by 6, right? I think I had just a scrap left. Maybe this was all I had left of that piece. And the way we cut the second piece, we preserved the majority of it to create another card with. So here's the trick for creating your bridge card. You're going to put your adhesive on one end, just on the end, and align it with the edge. You can take it the whole way to the bottom, or you can leave it up slightly, whichever you prefer. I think I'm going to take it the whole way to the bottom, and I'm just going to attach it. So it really should only attach to this panel. If you're going to go the whole way to the bottom, you could actually add the adhesive to the panel itself. And then I'm going to fold in this end. Okay. And it's going to give me perfect alignment on this side. So again, you could put it over here, or because you're going down here at the bottom, you can put your adhesive down there. This way you're sure not to go too high on your panel if you put it on the back of your strip, but you can do it whichever way you prefer. Just be conscious of the size of your panel. And there we go. There's the bridge. And now we're just going to add our horse and sleigh. So again, just adhesive. I didn't dimensionalize this. It's going to be thick, and I don't know, again, depending upon your post office, they may or may not charge you extra postage to mail this. So I didn't want to dimensionalize it and add any additional thickness to it. So there's the horse and sleigh. And then the last thing I'm going to do, I've got two things actually left to do. We have the back to do. I'm trying to figure out which piece. This is my piece for the back. And there, of course, I have a layer of gray. We're going to stamp a greeting back there. I'm using Misty Moonlight. And you can do this before you put your bridge together, so it's a little bit easier. This says, wishing you a wonderful season filled with all the good things that warm your heart and lift your spirit. And then this is going to go on the back. So this gives you a place to sign your card. Just lay it flat, like you were putting it in the envelope. And that will allow you to have a nice flat surface to not only mount this layer, but then you can sign it or write your message. And then the Merry Christmas from Cottage Wreath is going to be stamped and punched out with the double oval punch. And we're going to do that in Misty Moonlight as well. We forget we have these great punches that we can use for our greetings, in addition to all the fabulous dies that we have, right? And of course, we're going to lay that onto a layer of gray granite with the scalloped oval. And I have one more to show you that I received from my upline. Okay, so again, be careful. Again, you're going to fold this way. So we're going to mount it on this side. If you want to fold the other way, you can mount it on that side. But you don't want adhesive on the left side of the back. So we're just going to put it on this end. You could use tear and tape if you're worried about the greeting falling off. And there we have it. There's our bridge fold card using the beautiful scenic paper and the horse and sleigh, and then with your greeting on the back. Okay, so these are the three that we made. Totally different color scheme with this one. These two, taking the colors from the designer series paper, kind of give you the same color scheme, right? Okay, and then this one, also in that same theme, came from my upline, and she did not color the horse and sleigh, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. she actually added, and I'm assuming, I don't know if that's, I think that might be gray granite too, now that I look at it. I'm assuming she used gray granite with her blending brush, put a circle on there to kind of create a moon effect. Hopefully you can see that. And then scattered a couple of the snowflakes on there and actually stamped the tree that I used on this one that I colored the pine needles with, just stamped that in a gray as well. So there's another option for you. If you're not a colorer and you don't want to spend the time coloring, can absolutely do something like that. Again, this is another piece of the designer series paper that comes in that pack. All right, guys, I hope you liked those. I love this set. It's a great Christmas set. Again, it's in my online store, and the suite was available, as are the individual products. I would recommend this one 100% because it's just so much fun to play with, and you can create a variety of designs. Definitely prefer it colored. Okay. All right, good. All right, thanks, guys. Hey, don't forget to share the video for me. Like, love, comment, even if you're watching the replay. I plan to be back Sunday night. Let's see. Let's take a vote since you guys are here. Do you want some simple stamping Sunday night, or would you prefer a sneak peek of my pre-order, my unboxing of my pre-order? Tell me what you want. I'm glad you liked them, guys. I pre-ordered from the mini catalog. It was good to see you too, Connie. I only see a couple votes. I'm surprised. I thought it would be overwhelming. Pretty order, sneak peek order. Okay. All right. I figured that was going to be your vote as long as it shows up. I did 2-day it, and I actually 2-dayed it down home to come down home because that's where I'm going to be. So it probably won't be a complete unboxing because I have to do a swap for leadership at the end of the month. So I'm going to get ready for that with some of that new product. But yes, come back Sunday night. We'll do a sneak peek of my pre-order. And you'll get to see all the goodies that I ordered in advance of the catalog launching in September, which, by the way, if you are one of my regular customers, the catalog has been ordered for you. Some of you will receive it in the mail. If you're in my clubs or local to me, you might be doing a pickup. But if you are not and you need a catalog, please reach out to me and we will see what we can do to get you one. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, take care. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay cool. And I'll see you Sunday night at 8 for a sneak peek. Bye.